an inheritance, brothers. I'm not talking about something that is filled with corruptible things like money and gold and silver. I'm talking about something, an incorruptible inheritance that's not going to fade away. Oh my God, what a mighty God we serve. Oh my goodness, thank you, Lord. Colossians 1 and 12, give thanks unto the Father which has made us meet to be partakers of the inheritance of the saints in light. Oh my God, aren't you glad that you have an inheritance that is incorruptible through Christ Jesus our Lord? You're never going to lose it. It can't be stolen. It's not going to be given away. There is a way out of your mess, and it's JESUS.
Where can you buy a brand new Nissan with a lifetime warranty? Kingston Pike. Hey, folks, Gerald Anderson with Ted Russell Nissan. You heard it right. Every new Ted Russell Nissan comes with a lifetime warranty, and that's a long, long time. Ted Russell Nissan on Kingston Pike.
Good morning and welcome to AM 1380 WYSH and Ask Your Neighbor. Ask Your Neighbor can also be heard and seen on our website, WYSHradio.com. And if you are in Anderson, Rome, or Morgan County and have Comcast cable, you can watch Ask Your Neighbor on BBB TV Channel 12. Ask Your Neighbor is the program where you call in and do just that. Ask Your Neighbor. Do you have a comment? Do you have a problem? Or do you have a question? Then call in and ask your neighbor. 865-457-1380 or toll free at 877-711-4005. And for those of you that might be listening or watching on the internet, you can email from our website, WYSHradio.com. Just click on the Contact Us button and email your questions. Now sit back and listen as listeners throughout East Tennessee and the entire world answer your questions on Ask Your Neighbor on BBB TV 12 and AM 1380 WYSH.
As a homeowner, I'm always looking for peace of mind, especially when I have a costly, unplanned expense, like a cooling system repair or replacement. That's when I turn to the eScore Quality Contractor Network. They're the pros who've been specially trained and approved by TVA and your local power company. The quality contractors are licensed and insured, so you can be assured the job will be done right and inspected for free. Contact your local power company or visit energyright.com to learn more.
Artie Five here. Let's get down to business. Everybody knows Medicare can be confusing. What with all the parts and plans and all, if you're confused about Medicare, just nip it right in the bud. I call the senior benefits team at Madison Insurance Group or visit their new website, straighttalkmedicare.com. You'll have all the answers to your questions in no time. That's straighttalkmedicare.com or call Madison Insurance Group at 865-425-7300. Tell them Barney sent you.
All right, here we are. The boys are back in town. It's Thursday. David West stars the stories of the Chaos Walker Show. Like I said, we start the show before y'all even get here. We was going. It was time for us to turn the mics on. Hi, guys. How's everything?
Well, first thing right off the bat.
Right off the bat. Here we go.
Hey, you got up that hill.
Oh, Lord. Getting up the hill is never a problem. I can get up the hill.
You got to stay here when you get here.
My truck, it'll climb a tree. I can get up here, but getting down is always fun. Yeah. Getting down, I just aim and hang on. But no, I put it in four-wheel low and just let it idle off the hill. So it holds it back pretty well when it's in four-wheel low.
If it's good snow and they haven't packed it, you can hold pretty good.
Yeah, it was. And worst case, I get over in the ditch a little bit. Let the tires grab there. But I didn't have any problems. I got up and down. with no problems.
They graded pretty quick?
Yeah, they did. In fact, John came in on Friday. He said, you better leave. It's bad. I couldn't even. He said, I almost didn't get up the hill. And I said, all right. So I fiddled around here about another hour. And I went out there and I called him. I said, John, there's not a bit of snow on this road. They had salted and graded. And it was down on that curve. There was some on that curve down here where there's no sunlight.
Right.
And then going out Spring Street where there's no sunlight. But they do good. The city of Clinton does good. They've always come up here and got this pretty quick so that we can get up here. So I appreciate them greatly. But I didn't have any problems. I didn't. After that, I went home, didn't get out much, but that was okay too.
Worst bad Turkey Lane is the worst I've ever saw it.
It still
really
froze up.
Quick and packed it.
Yeah.
Packed it down, and it looked like glass.
Yeah.
They couldn't even come up through it. This parking over in Watson. Of course, I had that Cadet.
Yeah.
We were driving the old knob tires. You go anywhere.
Sure.
It didn't go on the ice, but when you hit the brakes,
it keeps going on the ice.
Need a little distance for the brakes. But I got over in the field, and I was running up down through that. Donald Butler, construction company that we worked together, he said, "Well, David, I want to ask you a question." He said, "How you going to walk all the way home, but they quits on you?" Of course, it's nearly new. And I said, "Well, I guess I have to call you come get me."
Have to figure something out.
It just ran like a sewing machine. But it'd go, oh man, straight up hills and everything.
That's great.
You can go up there if it starts spinning, just push that button. Boy, I mean, when it grabs, it's like it starts walking. It's a push button. You only have to, you can do it running or sitting still.
That's great. My truck's a little switch that you flip. But it's got to where now, once I get it in four-wheel drive, it don't want to come out. I don't know if I've got something in the electrical system or something. It took me, I'd turn it back, it'd stay in there, turn the truck off, turn it back on, back up, put it in neutral, all the stuff you try to do. And whenever it wants to, it finally will kick out of it.
So, that's my trucks.
Or torque converter box. It might be a converter box.
Yeah. Which I've probably had four-wheel drive twice. Whole time I've had it. But he said, you come out, take it out four-wheel and back up. Then, just freeze it up somehow or another. I don't know.
Yeah, I just, a Trailblazer, I just put it, I need to take it out now, I guess. I just put it in automatic. I said, you can run it like that.
Yeah.
But now wife's car, it's all-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Man, that thing surprised me.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
it goes just like four-wheel drive.
Yeah.
That's right.
We've got it better. I don't know.
We've got that Navigator, and it's got a little dial on it, and you can just dial it as you're going. You can drive it into four-wheel, you can drive it into four-wheel slippery, or you can drive it into four-wheel deep snow. It's got all these settings on it.
Mine's got them buttons so you push it in all
thing. It's go.
I just put it in automatic, and
it does what it needs to do.
I don't know where automatic's all wheel or not, but it's got them things down there to push whichever button you want.
Yeah.
But, boy, it's good to have in the snow, ain't it?
It is. We don't get a whole lot of it, but when you get it, you're glad to have something to get you around.
It's a heavy-duty 3/4 like a ton.
Yeah.
But I just had to put single wheels so I wasn't going to haul nothing much for guitar case and stuff. Put heavy 10-ply tires on it. I told that guy yesterday, I said, we might not have to take this thing because we got to get back up through here. And he said, oh, no, it's got positive traction back in. He backed out. Well, this pull, he said, get a little weight on that. That thing almost like four-wheel drive.
Yeah.
He said, it really does a lot of difference. I didn't know that.
Well, that's good.
I guess that was good. If I was going to buy another new one, I'd get four-wheel drive, but I had to buy that year.
Yeah.
Taxes and about in 2006, it's got 20-something thousand miles on it. Under 30. That's a lot of miles, ain't it?
Not really.
The 206, it had about 3 oil changes. We drove out to drive it. They ain't even drove. I believe we had to go get a battery for my John Deere tractor. It's good. It's got 500 or 600 hours on it.
Lord.
We don't use much, but you need them right now. It's good.
Yeah. I was looking at my yard tractor the other day. It's got almost 700 hours on it.
Yeah.
Mowing the yard. That's quite a bit of mowing for a yard tractor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think about how long I've sat on that thing. 700 hours.
Yeah. I think I'll interview her.
Just go right ahead.
Hey,
I don't know nothing.
hey, Harry, these people out there need to know a little bit about you. How old was you just started doing mechanic work?
19.
19-year-old?
Yeah.
Was your daddy mechanic?
No, he worked for the Southern Bell Telephone.
Southern Bell Telephone, yeah. You just take school or just...
I had a neighbor. We had a 2-car car garage that we built cars and stuff, motors and whatever needed to be done. And I used to, because he had boys and stuff, we hung around together, and I'd go down and hang around the garage and wash his tools or whatever, you know, and I guess he just got in my blood. I just got 19, and I told him, I said, Pap, you know where I'm finding me a job? And he said, I might. So he called a cousin at Mac. He said, I got another boy down here that needs a job. Said, could interview him and see if he might be able to use him. He said, well, send him up here. So I went up and they talked to me. I said, no, I'm not a mechanic, but I'm willing to learn. I'll work when you need me or whatever. So they hired me. And
give you the hard stuff.
I didn't know my Frank had him over about 4 years. But that's how I learned. Just, you know, they gave me a chance, and then I had a buddy that just kind of took me under his wings, and we got to going to races and stuff together. And he took me in and learned me how to build Mack motors and stuff. So
It's a real tough truck, ain't it? Is it one of the toughest trucks on the market?
Oh yeah, it definitely the toughest. But there ain't nothing stay in the coal country back in them days like a Mack wheel.
Yeah.
I mean, they've all tried it. They just couldn't take it. I mean, Peterbilt tried it, Kenworth, White, all of them, and that Mack will stay when rest of
What is it? Just better construction, or is it?
Yeah, just, well, back then, and if you bought a Mack truck, it has Mack motor, Mack transmission, Mack rear ends, everything.
They did that.
And things built like pig iron, buddy. I mean, that's tough. They come down there and they go as far as they go in that coal country.
Yeah.
They come and hook a dozer to them and drag them, put them up there and load them and turn them back off that mountain.
Dad used to haul coal. Well, my papa had a coal mine for a while, and I'd go with Dad. And that's probably the scariest I've ever been, is coming off those mountains. We lost brakes coming off the mountain one time in one of those trucks. And it wasn't one of the tandem. It was just a regular dump truck.
Right.
They go pretty quick. They go fast. That's what he had to do. He had to get over on the side, you know what I mean, to keep it from getting too fast.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know, it felt like forever for us to get down off that mountain, but I was pretty scared. What scared me the most is I could tell he was scared. That's what scared me. If I wouldn't have felt like he was scared, I wouldn't have worried about it. But I could tell he was worried.
What them roads is up in there, man, you meet another truck.
Oh, yeah.
And you'd take the mirrors off of them sometimes. That's how the road and stuff was.
Yep.
You just had to get off in the ditch.
Yep.
And some of them, on one side, you get off the ditch, you go off
You're all the way,
mountain, buddy.
Flip all the way down, come down Carroll Mountain, you would.
Yes, sir.
Yep. That was...
Oh, it's just, I'll tell you, it's scary. I drove a dump truck off old Gunner. What's that up there on top of Briceville, way up there?
Briceville Mountain?
Yeah, way up in there. And they loaded me too heavy, so you right plumb up top of the cab.
Oh, Lord.
I put that thing in first gear, and I tell them, I say, now, I put it first coming down, and I hit the brake, letting off it. And I said, if I open the door, you better get out. I'm leaving this thing.
Move out the way.
I had them old boys that work with me. I said, no. Boy, Will, I got on the edge of the seat like this. I said, you better be ready to go. When you see me go, that means that leaving us. Yeah. Well, it is scary. It is really scary to get loaded like that come off that mountain.
Oh, yeah. There's been some of them just...
Oh, they just go... Yeah. Some of them laid down there for years. They said, didn't get them out.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't want nothing to get them out. They wouldn't be worth fixing.
No, by the time
that's all
flipped all the way down the hill.
Yeah.
Yep.
But, man, I tell you, they needed of course, up our Max, they need one cut off, we cut it off, make just a regular truck on the road.
Yeah.
And if they need the coal dump, then we will stretch the frame out, put a coal body and stuff on it.
Hear the staple, Brad.
We have to cut off them 5/8 inch rivets.
Mhm.
Rivets, yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
But we put bolts back in it. We
Yeah.
could put rivets in it because we had a way to
Yeah.
meld them and drive them. But yeah, it's just hard work. But I like that. I stayed in it for 40 years.
Mack trucks still out there every day, aren't they? I mean, they still make them.
Of course, they're building pretty good trucks now. I mean, nice road trucks.
Yeah.
But in that day, like I say, you bought a Mack. But then it got later that a lot of them was using them on the highway for, hauling material everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So then they had to get into putting different motors and stuff, whatever customer wanted. And that's where it's at today.
What kind of motors they put in?
Well, whatever you want.
Caterpillar.
They put a Caterpillar, Cummins,
Yeah.
Detroit, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever the customer wants.
I think Cole's gonna make a
It's still a
comeback.
Mack truck, but it's
It's other parts inside of it now.
yeah.
I think Cole's going to I think there's going to be a comeback, resurgence of coal once under the Trump administration. I don't think it'll ever get back to what it once was, but I think we'll start using it more. I
Right.
really do. And we've got a lot of it around here. Still got a lot of it.
Yeah,
around
well,
here.
up in West Virginia too.
Oh, yeah.
Or, a lot of coal.
I know a lot of people that when they closed those down in the Obama administration, it just devastated. You know what I mean? Just devastated them.
Well, I mean, I could probably have done something else to make a living,
Sure.
but it's like coal mine. That's all they know.
Yeah.
That's what we was raised in from time as
That's
a
what they've
kid.
done their whole
Their
life.
grandparents or daddies or right on down the line, that's where they lived, and that's all they knew.
Yeah.
And when they took their jobs, all they were going to do is sit there on their thumbs.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing, there was nothing else up there to work at, so we just had to do the best they could do.
Yeah.
Used to be real stout. I was talking to one of them people that worked one of them places with him. He said, they bring him old coal trucks and them old Macks. He said, he'd grab one of them big old bars and take it up front, drink it, he'd break it bar. He said, he's stout. You better not loan him none of your tools. It takes something to break anything, though.
Well, you work on them things, of course.
How much you have torque to break
I was pretty hefty anyway, but I mean, all my life, a little heavy on the heavy side, but yeah, you pull them more branches on them coal trucks. Every pull was squeaky, just, big old boats and stuff.
They had to do some squeaking, didn't they?
Yeah. But boys, after I went to Oak Ridge and stuff, somebody got on something I'd worked on for us. Well, I see how I've been working on this. Get a breaker bar, break it loose. I swear they don't vibrate loose, do they?
How old were you when you worked for Honey Wiles?
Oh, probably 16, 17 years old. I was still in school, and of course during summer breaks and stuff.
You done his light stuff, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, we just greased, changed oil, and
Pump gas.
and stuff like that.
Fixed tires.
Fixed flat tires for $1 back then. You fix a tire take a tube out, patch it, put it back for $1, and wash your car for $1.
Yeah. Oh, Honey, boy, he was a mess, wasn't he?
Oh, he was, yeah.
And you say Colonel Tom Parker come by. He was the one that started Elvis and
Yeah.
Hank Snow, and he had a lot of people, didn't he? He managed a lot of
Of
people.
course, I didn't know Tom Parker from Adam, but he came in there and Honey finally told us who he was. But I did hear him say, he said, Honey, said, they got no boy down here in Memphis. He says, good thing gonna make me a millionaire. Of course, Honey Wiles, he cussed right big. He said, well, you're crazy, truck driver gonna make you $1 million. I said, you'll see. He made him several.
Yeah.
Man,
A lot of
yeah.
them.
Of course, he took Elvis for a ride. He got a big chunk of everything he made.
He got 50%.
Yeah.
He got 50% there. I don't know if he started off with 50%, but once they...
Yeah.
Elvis slipped up to him, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So he didn't have nothing to got him.
Of course,
No, and 50% of something is better than 100% of nothing. And both of them, you know what I mean?
Colonel Parker had jam up money. He had Hank Snow. He had several of the country music people too.
Yeah.
Yeah. About that. He did.
How does anybody know how he got started? Colonel Tom Parker? I mean, he wasn't a real colonel, was he? He was something in the Kentucky Colonel or something.
Right, exactly.
So,
I know a lot of people didn't know it, but Jim Up Honey was a big timber back in them days. They started the tent shows.
They started them big opera tent shows. Sure did.
I mean, they were big time, wasn't they?
I mean, they put all over the country, overseas, and everywhere. Yeah.
He went to. He told her. I was picking with him when he worked for the Bird family. I went to work for him, and they had him. He rode up for a bus. I didn't know he worked for them because we'd worked together on Cat Rock Show. I said, honey, on a big seat up there. You gonna work with us? You know how he talked. And he said it. There's interviewing on TV, and he said, yeah, I went to the Grand Ole Opry for 30 days. I had a 30-day contract, and I stayed there for 19 years. Never signed another contract for 19 years.
Yeah.
I remember him saying that. Boy, he's something to travel with, I tell you.
Was he?
He didn't say too many words for church.
No,
He cussed everything. He cussed birds, people, and himself. He cussed himself.
His wife, his kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. His son. Oh, yeah, he wasn't. I don't think he went to his funeral.
And to get over and start doing that, see, we was on live
I'm
TV.
serious.
He didn't go to his own son's funeral?
His son didn't go.
No,
to his
his son. Oh, Lord.
But he didn't come. No.
No.
I was there, so he didn't. There were 5 or 6 of us there.
No.
He was just cantankerous, huh?
It was,
Yeah.
I think Mr. Walker was there for a little while. Me, Claude Boone, and Jim Holt, Red Victor, and 1 or 2 more was all there. Our late honey.
Good Lord.
But boy, he was he was some guy. He was he didn't get mad at, they'd brag on him. Boy, him and Red and Fred would sing a pretty good harmony song. And Fred said, you know, honey, said, that sounds just like the Delmore brothers. He said, that's right, dead just where I ought to be. Anything he said, he made it.
He made it bad.
Oh, I'll tell you, one of the funniest things that I ever heard. I've told it, but it's still funny. I never thought of it again. He had a dog show, a really good show. He goes to schoolhouses, put on a big show, didn't he?
Yeah.
Himself.
Oh, yeah.
He had his trick dog that jumped through stuff and all over that. Fred said, how'd you do last night? He played some big place. He said, oh, it was terrible. That's the meanest bunch of kids I ever saw in my life. That they got up there and they wouldn't make them do nothing. I was wanting them to sit there and watch this dog show, and said, some of them jumped up on the stage and said they scared my dogs that they peed all over the floor, and some of them slipped up and fell and they couldn't jump through the ring. And he said, only said some more words, but anyhow, he said, that's the worst show. Said, he knows that I ain't gonna play with them kind of people more if I can help it. He didn't know it. He got in. I said, that big crowd. Boy, he was
He's cantankerous, but I tell you.
he was good though. He was a ukulele player and a half, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah. Ain't nobody, I mean, his old long fingers that long.
He played hard stuff.
Just remembers the ride, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and he'd hit that thing. And he played the far out of it.
Oh, he
I
played.
never played nobody play one like he could.
Oh,
The
he
ukulele.
had it. He played
As a little chitty dipper.
Rose of Piccadilly. He'd say old song that I didn't know they made. And because he tried to do something that you couldn't do, you know. And so I'd listen to him. And I'd just come up a handful of Chromax. And I'd come out in the court.
Uh-huh.
He thought it fit. But it wasn't the way it should have went. And I'll tell you what, little lady, you sure can't pick that thing. Because I'd get over his head. See, I'd think so bad. I didn't know why. But you couldn't say, if you said no to him, he'd rub you in on every day.
Oh, yeah.
But actually saw that I was going to play it. Well, everything's okay. We're going to do one this morning. We got one. I got a new 45 out. This old house. That, if you don't mind, to step up and buy one, just $1. Order radio TV. The old man need the money. They said, if you don't kill that red-headed thing, my chili dipper. He said, I'm going to do one for you. Put another quarter in a jukebox. I said, oh, it's a nickel, honey. And he always said it ain't, now it went up. he was funny.
Oh, yeah.
He was a good entertainer, wasn't he?
Yeah. I mean, he could entertain. I mean, that dude could.
Oh, yeah. They loved him. People did.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a crowd pleaser.
Like I say, him and Jam Up,
Oh,
of course, they had blackface back in the day.
Sure.
And they played overseas and everywhere, buddy.
oh,
I mean, they was big.
he made a lot of money, didn't he?
Of course, he, later life, he got cantankerous. Of course, he probably was all his life, but his wife, they talking about his wife, he had that service station. She come by and she pulled up, stop. She wouldn't hardly get stopped. I'll see you later. See you later. Bye. He would turn and walk back and said,
And
his wife, he's,
you know, Mr. Walker said there for a while, said he just bragging on his son about everything. Then all of a sudden he just quit. So you don't hear him more about, I forget his name now. Mr. Walker called it, but he was, his son wrote, Don Bell would tell me he saw a thing where they interviewed him or something, and his son said, my daddy was cantankerous and hard to get along with, but he sure could play a ukulele.
Yeah.
Boy, he could.
yeah.
Man, I mean, I don't know how he get all that out, but his hands are so big.
Yeah, oh, yeah, do a lot of
He rolled
things.
it. Droom, droom, droom. I mean, he was really something to say. He was something to work with. But I worked with him back when I worked in on the Cat Walker show till he
Right.
died. And then, but before that, I worked with him when he was with the Bird family, and he was just a good entertainer. I mean, he was the best thing they had.
Yeah.
When he walked out, he could entertain kids, he could entertain adults. He'd look at his crowd, and if there's a bunch of kids, he'd get there and do a kid's song. Won't get me standing up there looking at him on the stage, you know.
He was a big old feller. Anyway, he probably was 6'7".
I was looking up.
Yeah.
I was looking up
Yeah.
old stuff for him.
That's him, yeah.
But now, later,
He had
after
nice,
they broke up, if you wanted to get under his skin, you say something about Jam Up.
Oh,
Oh, he'd have a come apart, buddy.
really?
And then
Oh,
see-
yeah.
who did he have first? Jim Up Honey, License and Honey. When did he get License and Honey? Was License first? I mean, it was.
Yeah, it was.
License and Honey was first, and when he died or something, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then he got Jim Up Honey, and they split quills, didn't they, somewhere?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Lee Davis Honey Wilds. His name was Lee Davis. Lee Davis Wilds.
Yeah.
Well, how about, I didn't know any of that. Learn something new every day.
I watched the radio station once, and birds is tweaking and stuff, you know, and he got to, because them blankety blank birds eating my blankety blank strawberries.
Mr. Walker said on the emergency, he said, don't feed them birds, Mr. Walker, son. Feed the birds, feed the birds. And he was so loud, the audience probably couldn't hear it out there, but they could hear him talking. It wasn't bleak, but Mr. Walker's looking right at him real straight, trying to figure out what he was saying. He was cussing really. He come over and said, I don't know what we're going to do with Honey. He said, he can't whisper. He said, oh, we're talking, so I'm sure it ain't nothing no good, but anyhow. And the way them two operated, Honey just something, if he felt bad, he just quit. If he took his chili dipper home, he's ready to quit.
Yeah.
And he'd grab that chili dipper up and Red said, look, I ain't gonna quit for a while. He quit maybe 2 weeks. He'd come back and say, Mr. Walker, I need to talk to you. He said, I've been off for a couple of weeks. Said, I had some problems. Said, is I fired? He said, no, I didn't fire you. Can I go back to work? Said, yeah, I didn't tell you not to, did I? Just walked on off, you know. But I mean, the way Mr. Walker talked with people was business. He was a strictly businessman.
Yeah, definitely.
He didn't have no time.
He didn't have time for.
But he loved to. Now, if you want to tell jokes and get, I knew how to work it. See, I get
Getting
"Come here,
started.
Mr. Walker, these girls or these people, these family. Tell them about the old story of something, you know. Yeah, them cats. Yeah, I tell them about the cats. We got him telling him cat stories. We read 9 times straight on television. and he didn't, you know. Hey, Mr. Walker, tell him about them cats. You know, he'd tell him about them cats. Bug, Shinley, and Tabby. There's three of them, you know. You've ever written, don't you?
No.
Okay. You stand at this boarding house, and there's cutting logs. That's when they put them squirrels in the sack and send them down and cut them hyper dude.
Mm-hmm.
He said, if you got new people, he said, pass the rats.
And tell them there's rats, so they wouldn't eat them.
And he said, the old woman sat out there and rocked. And he said, it's raining. They couldn't work that day. Right, they was waiting on the rain to quit. So she was out there knitting and rocking and said, there lay Bug and Shinley. He said, Bug was a tomcat. And Shinley and the other one was a tomcat. And said, they both was looking right at Shinley, you know. He said, I done it as long as I could. So I studied it. I said, when I done that, so then two tomcats run together. One of them broke the other's neck. Mr. Walker Tillett was together. He said, he killed that other tomcat. There's a mackerel, he would say, you know. He said, that woman said, you done that on purpose.
Got mad at him.
Oh, he was mad at it. Said, she stayed mad at me for several weeks over it. Said, they was just both of them crossing each other and said, I done that. I'll put these. He could sound like a cat. And he'd go, and what we do, Miss Fred, see, when you do it, he spit all over you. And if a woman come in, that's a new, real pretty woman, of course, he'd like to entertain them, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, who wouldn't? But anyhow, we get a real pretty woman. Fred said, I say, Fred, that's the girl. That woman ain't heard about the cats. Mr. Walker, come here. He said, now, you laugh. You really laugh big at his jokes and stuff, because he liked that, so he'll like you. Maybe they want him to play one of the records or something. They need him, you know.
Yeah.
Now, let me tell you about Bug and Shinley and Tabby. That's where we're Tabby. And he started telling about when he went, wow, foot, and he spit, and he had some egg in it. And she's standing there wiping her face off. And we'd do it, and I told Fred, I said, it's this week, let's get him to tell it. And he'd go straight to it on TV, you know, if we hadn't tell it that time. And we got him to do it for 9 times straight. Tell about the cats. Oh, man, we had to do something. You get up every morning at 4:30, and you're on TV 5:30 to 7, and you got to entertain yourself, because, I mean, you're sleepy, and you're wore out, and you played all night the night before, and it's cold, and you're sitting in there, and you didn't care who picked you, so somebody had picked, and whoever you called on had picked. We need a major tune-up, and, boy, you better hit my fix on, boy.
There you go.
That might be all the introduction you get. So I just wore mine around my neck. I kept my fix on. We need a major tune-up. Yes, sir, Mr. Walker, we're going to do one here. So that's when you hit it.
Yeah.
So
ready to go.
Red carried his little mandolin tickling all the time. And we talked to Fred to get his guitar, see who was going to play guitar. Jump up there he was, but we get him telling tales, and I had other tales, just something all the time. We'd pick us out one, just get him on it. And you know, he done, I told this before, but he done Glory Bell that way. We kept writing notes that she's getting requests for some song, something in the snow, I forget what it was. But we keep getting requests, and I told you, Creed Daniels sent that thing in there for a lawsuit.
Mm-hmm.
He said he took his TV to the shop, said that thing hunt roses in snow, that's what it was. That's been on 5 mornings, and said, I finally took my TV to the shop, and he said, check his TV, it's playing every morning, it's playing roses in snow. And he said, well, it ain't on TV. He said that, you know, it's just somebody saying it every morning. He come back and sent her a letter for a lawsuit that what it cost him to have his TV checked out, $29, $30. Boy, she got mad, she couldn't take a joke. And Fred was up there and said, well, don't worry about your television. Said, I took my TV, said, there's so much sex and stuff going on, violence these days, so I took my TV to the shop, and they tied its tubes. If you can get in that, if you can get in that lesson, all of us was just having a big time, but we had to listen to see who he was going to put on.
Yeah,
We need some music up next. Of course, Dan to run, or one of us run to the microphone real quick. Yeah, Mr. Walker, we're going to get the band up here right now. So you could talk till they get up there, but you couldn't stand there and not do that.
Wow.
Whoever's the closest had to hit the microphone real quick. And,
When Walker came off the front, Walker probably get ready to play, then he'd want to sell some groceries.
or politics.
Number 2 skins. And he's out there and there's David even sweat running down the back. Big light shine right on top of him.
I said back in, so you didn't hit them LEDs.
No, it was hot.
15. It's
big old can lights.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy.
We was right under it because that's what it's filming.
Yep.
I stood out there with a 3-piece suit on and feel water go plumb on down to anything to run on.
Down your shoes.
See, my things be hoisted back there where you run down. It gets hot in your hair. You know, you wipe your forehead and of course then you gum your hair up. It was and see, I told this before, but it's good.
Mm-hmm.
The director of the whole show, you know, he just loved us. He'd come down there, his name was Dooley. And we'd sing Dooley, flip up a holler, you know, we'd sing for him. And Mr. Walker finally walked over, he said, was you needing something, buddy? And he said, no, I'm just sitting here watching the show. He said, oh, you won't on the show? And he said, no. He said, I work here. And he said, well, just what do you do? He said, I'm a director. He said, well, what do they do?
Mr. Walker was a director.
He said,
he did it his way.
He said, I'm the one that takes care of your show for you. And he said, well, we got a guy down there says he's taking care of the show, but I don't know how he can do it from down here. But, you know, some things he did. I'll tell you what, they let us film some shows right on the last.
Mm-hmm.
And, he got some things. He's worse than poor Brother Biden, if our president. He get tangled up. And I'll tell you right now, we're putting sale on it. Say, no, Mr. Walker, that's for Friday. Well, what day am I on? Say, this is a Friday show. Okay. He said, we got things mixed up around here now. I don't know if it's Monday or Friday. He said, I just have somebody here to keep me lined up. He'd start talking about Friday. Boy, if he got on in politics.
Oh, yeah.
He wouldn't even let you play. He'd call you up or get up here, get the band up here. And he'd talk to the commercial, and then he'd have a commercial, and we would play. And finally, FCC called in and said, he's going to have some music on there. That ain't a talk show. And he come over and, you boys are going to have to play more. Said, they're getting on me for, you ain't playing enough. Fred said, well, when are we going to do it? It's just one thing and then another, I'll tell you. Well, we was interviewing you before we got off on Kevin.
That's all right.
I don't talk to Mr. Walker.
Okay, you like it? That's pretty good, ain't it?
Yeah.
Where did you go to after you started? Mac, is that where you started?
That's where I started.
Where did you go to then?
Went to Colonial Refrigerated.
Is that a big outfit?
Yeah, well, that's out of Alabama. The main place was. We had a little substation down there on Lover Road. And, of course, they hauled swinging beef and canned stuff, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And frozen goods. And they just had refrigerated trucks, trailers. And I remember one time Mr. McBride was the owner. He owned the whole 9 yards. Well, they called in from Bristol and said, we got trucks coming to Knoxville. The Thermo King's out, and we got a load of perishable food on there. So as soon as it gets there, you need to change that or fix that refrigerator unit. So we always had one that's ready to swap out if we had to. Depends on how much time we had. But they come in and it was already getting too warm in there, so I said, let's just change the units out and then we'll work on it, fix that one. And of course we was on boat and stuff. I looked around and I was the man that owned it. up on top of the trailer, lined it up, put it back in the front of that trailer. So he wouldn't ask us to do nothing, he wouldn't do himself. So he always would throw us a big Christmas party every year somewhere, Dean Hill or wherever we'd vote and said where we want to go. And of course, we had the insurance company insured Colonial and the trucks, whatever. They had asked us, say, how many of you boys would like to go to Tennessee football games? Of course, about all of us mechanics wanted to, if we could get off. And I said, we'll give you all tickets. Won't cost you nothing. And so they did that, the insurance company did. But we would go in early and work half a day, go to football game, come back, and then finish out and maybe might get off till Monday morning sometimes. Sometimes you go in on Friday.
Had to get the trucks out, didn't you?
Yeah. What they had, what they call LTL, which more or less like city delivered, just different places. Well, then Monday morning, them trucks had to leave here, make their deliveries. So if one of them had a motor went out, you worked all weekend and have that truck ready to go Monday morning. I mean, you worked. I mean, I just where it was.
There was a company here named Robinson, wasn't it?
Robinson
Was it small, wasn't it?
No, that's pretty good. Pretty good.
Are they out from Knoxville?
I think so.
I think so. Yeah. Where was Knoxville, Maryville located? I mean, is it out of Knoxville or Maryville? Or?
Well, they had a terminal here. I don't know if they had another one anywhere else or not. Some of them did have.
Yeah.
It was like Colonial. We had a place up in Virginia and had one in Bristol. Well, that's when they called in that time, said at Bristol and said, we'll send it to Knoxville, but they couldn't fix it up there. And said, it's 40,000 pounds of perishable foods, high dollar stuff. And of course it got there. And you know what it was? It was going to New Orleans, grasshoppers and snails.
Oh, Lord.
And that, of course, that's high dollar stuff to the French.
I reckon.
So.
They can have it.
And chocolate covered ants on there or anything like that.
Well, they probably did have. I mean, like I say, how everything just about made it some of the best tomato juice and grape juice and stuff like that. And of course, sometimes if they had an accident or whatever, the insurance would pay off, and we'd have a lot of that stuff sitting in the garage there.
Take it.
Candy bars and oh Lord, just I kept my fuel box full of candy and different things,
Yeah, I remember when them watermelon trucks would turn over, boy, they'd give you watermelon. I just started loading that stuff, handing it out.
You just paid it off, so.
Yeah.
You
remember that? You remember the board that I used to have in here, the big one? Do you remember that? That's where that came from. We had a wreck up here on I-75, and Stacy at Lowe's Tows, that's who they called to get it. And all that stuff, they told him to get rid of it, do what he wanted to with it. They called me, he said, you need this? I said, yeah. I went and got it. Yeah. And he even had a helicopter, one of those personal helicopters that was on that. They pay for the whole thing when it, you know what I mean? When the truck turns over, they just pay for the whole thing, write it off, and have whoever's picking it up get rid of it or keep it or do whatever they want to with it.
Yeah. Yeah, they, like I said, we had a truck come in out there once, and he was going to Hershey, Pennsylvania. And he said, you want a piece of candy? And I said, well, yeah. They had 50-pound, it was this thick, big old chunks of chocolate.
Oh, wow.
Of course, they take it to Hershey, and then they melt it down and make candy, whatever, But
you got a 50-pound
big old chunk of pure chocolate candy. I ain't done that for
y'all eat
6 months. Oh, yeah.
Lord.
Yeah, I should have had diabetes.
You break off a piece here and there. And just...
But, you know, it's, like I say, you go in sometimes on Friday morning at 7 o'clock. And a lot of times, I mean, several times, I'll still be there Monday morning.
Yeah.
Work all weekend.
Yeah.
Getting everything
And you have
done.
to do it, you know, Mose Heron, the guy that was running the music store for me pretty well, him and Faye, my sister, of course, she's always in charge, I guess. But anyhow, he was over all the sales and everything because I was on the road and playing music and everything else. And he did drive before he went with me. He'd retired from Norfolk Marble. And he said down there at Madisonville, was before the interstate, you know. Madisonville High down through Madisonville was just that's going on into Georgia and Atlanta and everywhere else. And he said one of his buddies called him and said, "Get down here right quick." Said, "I've had a wreck." And that guy said, "A wreck?" He said, "Yes," said, "I've had a wreck." Said, "You know, when he on farm, he's pulled out the front day, he's going to feed his cow or something." Said he got, when he finally got stopped, said he's got a little tail light about the side of a toothpick, and said, he pulled out in front of me. Said, "I hit them brakes, I hit him, and I knocked him about 300 or 400 feet." He said, "He wouldn't let off the brake." He sat there to hit him again, so I hit him 3 times before I got stopped. He said he didn't hurt him, I don't think, but said his truck is messed up bad, and I tore the whole back end out of his truck. He said I hit him 3 times before I get stopped.
I love it.
You know, them old people going to one farm to the other and pulling out in a little old pickup truck.
Oh,
Can you
yeah.
just imagine what a little bitty tail light that them old trucks didn't have nothing on them.
Mm-hmm.
That guy coming down through there making time, and he did. But where'd you go to after you left there? Did you go to Peterbilt or somewhere else? Or
Yeah,
Peterbilt?
went to Peterbilt.
How long was you at Peterbilt?
5 years.
5 years?
Yeah.
Then what'd you
Then
do?
they called me.
Oh.
And asked me if I wanted to pull to them 1129s at WYSH Bar nuclear plant. And of course, my younger brother, was already down there. And he said, "Well, they paying good money." Said, "You don't bill no time or nothing, but you work 11 months, 29 days, they lay you off for 2 weeks, then call you back. And you got out, if you want to come back, you can." And I said, "Well, yeah, I'll try that." I thought maybe down the road I might be able to get on regular, you know. But I never did. But I worked at that, 2 hitches, and I said, "Nah, this ain't for me. I ain't driving no 140 miles a day, 70 there and 70 back, 2 hours on the road, you know." And I said, "Well, I'd rather work here local." I said,
Yeah.
"Difference in the money and all that." I said, "No, I ain't gonna do it no more." But he stayed on, and he done real good. Of course, he made foreman and stuff, but he was one of the first ones when they broke ground at Watts Bar. He was at most of the shows already at TVA, and they said, "Scotty, they got a big nuclear plant starting up there. You want to go up there?" I said, "You know, be a good thing." And that's what he did. So, but like I say, he stayed on. And when he finally did retire at 67, so he got all of his money, you know, from government. They called him back to work, and he said, "Well, I'm going to tell you," because he was something else that he did have, but he was that one way about money. He said, "I'll come back." Said, "I told you to get somebody before I left there, and you wouldn't do it. So if you want me to come back, I will. But when my phone rings, you give me a phone, you call me, and I might come in to that office every day. You give me a phone. When my phone rings and I pick it up, my time starts. $100 an hour." I said, "Okay."
There you go.
Yeah.
Where'd you go to from there? Did you go to another trucking company?
I left there. Yeah, I wouldn't go back ask. That's hard-headed too. I wouldn't go back to Peterbilt because I quit them and asked them for a job back. So I went to work at Kenworth. Then I worked there a couple
Where
of
was
years.
it at?
Just across the road from,
Peterbilt?
no, not truck sales up there.
Oh, yeah.
On
Yeah.
New
Where you said buses.
Alt Road there.
You remember it now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not the truck sales.
Then I had a good buddy at Oak Ridge, and he called me and he said, "Would you like to work at Oak Ridge?" I said, "Yeah." I've been trying to get on there for years. I said, "Hey, promised they'd call me, but I know how that goes too." He said, "Well," he said, "I'll get you an application. You come get it, and I'll tell you how to fill it out and whatever." And I did. He turned it in for me. And his boss told me, said, "If he wants to come, fill out that application, and you bring it to me." That was his big boss. And he said, if he's works out, said he's got the job. And I filled it out.
How long was you there?
21 years.
21 years at Oak Ridge?
Yeah,
That's the
And
longest
so-
place you'd ever been, wasn't it?
yeah. But he told me, he said, well, the boss told him, he said, "What would you recommend to him?" Said, "You got mechanics here." He said, "I want what would happen?" He wanted this boy to take a foreman job. And he said, "No." He said, I won't do that." He said, "Well, I think you ought to give me a reason why." And he said, "Because," I said, "I couldn't be fair." I said, "They're not qualified to work on this stuff. Do everything that has to be done." And said, I couldn't be fair about it, and I just won't take the job. And he said, "Well, do you know somebody can?" He said, "Oh, yeah." And that's when he told him about me.
Oh, okay.
He said, "Well, if you call him and ask him if he wants to work," said, "and you give his application to me, when you get it, you give it to me." And so when I went in and asked him, he called me and said, interviewed me, said, "You got 3 months to do your Q clearance." And of course he asked me, of course my wife fussed at me all the time, but he said, "Do you care to work overtime?" I said, "If I'm able, I'll work anytime you need me to work." So I got the job, stayed there 21 years.
Yeah, that's good.
But,
wasn't it?
yeah. But it
What did
was,
you, then, what y'all, you had to work on what equipment and
I worked on the tractor and trailers that hauled
tractor and truck?
weapon components, and we don't know what all they hauled. Even the people that drove the trucks didn't know what it was in a trailer. But it was in big armored trailers and trucks and stuff. It was just stuff that was top secret, more or less. And of course we didn't know what this all, we didn't need to know.
No. What was it? What did you like in mechanic work best? Build motors, back ends, or springs, or?
Yeah, probably building motors. And I mean, I'm not bragging, but when I left, I could work on any motor from the ground, scattered out all over the floor, and rebuild it. And that was, to me, was something like a Detroit. There's probably 1,000 parts to a Detroit. You tear it all the way down and have it scattered and then put it all back together.
Mm.
And when you got it ready and reach up there and turn that key and it started.
Get right up.
It was, makes you feel good.
Oh, yeah. I bet it
And
did.
I'm not bragging, but I never had one to ever come back on me.
Yeah.
Never
You know,
did.
We talk about a good mechanic. I traded for a old Tennessee coach. It used to be a good bus line here on
Mhm.
Yeah,
Tennessee
yeah.
coach. And that's what you saw around here, mostly Tennessee coach buses.
I
So
remember.
this was a 48 model. It's like Lester Flat, them back teardrop back thing on.
Yeah.
Well, them old buses is hard to start.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if they set So here comes a guy wanting to trade. He won't buy mine or trade for it. And I said, well, hurry, check that thing out, make sure to start real quick. And they got in it and said, Howard to stand there looking like this. He opened up, let them get inside it and hit them key. They said, well, it started. He said, I guess. I don't know. Try it. He turned the key and said, ding! He done had it set, the slide, everything.
Everything ready to
He
go.
said, man, that's good. It turned one time and started. Oh, he was ready to buy it right then. And so I traded with him. But that's
Well, my dad did, Ron had some teeth off the flywheel.
Yep.
And if you ever, anything like that, it don't matter what it is, seemed like it'll always stop right there with him.
Where there's no teeth.
Every time. I don't care if it's a car, truck, what. So I get an ounce, turn that flywheel to where it's going to have some good teeth
Uh-huh.
halfway around through there. And of course, a Detroit floor, 10 right and stuff. If that's turned over 4 or 5 times, you can forget about it. There's something wrong with it.
Yeah.
And of course, I got her just right, and that broke up there, and he said, turn that key in it. I mean, it didn't turn over 3 times. Man, he's impressed with that.
Dennis Lane told me, he said, they went,
we don't cut it off.
they went to Michigan in that thing. He said, when they did, it quit up there somewhere around Michigan. They just pulled on the side of the road and they all just went to sleep. Went back and went to sleep. And said, state trooper come up there and knocked on the door. What are you doing? You can't park here. And he said, well, our bus quit. And said, we're just going to have to wait till we can get somebody to come pull it in somewhere to work on it. And said, he said, won't it start? He said, no, look at this. Walked over to the kid, touched it. It started. He said, well, it started now. I'll see you. That's so funny. The way, boy, I like that old bus. So then I bought a 47 Greyhound, had the old dog on the side.
Yep.
I've had several of them, but I guess the one I need to bring a picture over here short run. The one that Mr. Abson painted cartoons and all those Cider Mountain boys had a mountain and all that picking around on it. He liked it. We painted it with brush. That's back in the 60s, 70s.
Yeah.
Lord.
Yeah, we painted it. It looked real good. Mr. Abson showed us
Oh,
how.
yeah.
He could take rabbit hair brushes going. I mean, he could almost do a paint job on them.
That's
He
great.
shows us how to do it, and then he lettered it real pretty and put the mountain on it. Side of the mountain boys going up the mountain with their instruments.
Yeah.
It got a lot of attention, old bus did.
I bet.
It's funny how things goes up all through the years that you do and how your life changes. And things I was always the type of person that if things quit, I'd make something happen.
Mm-hmm.
I could just go in and make it happen.
Sure.
If we was down in business, I'd haul rock. I'd say, we're going, that boy's negative. He run a lawnmower shop. We're going to sell them. Or, hey, we're going to haul rock for us, and I'm going to sell them to somebody. Back in the 60s, they had rock road driveways without all rock.
Yeah.
And I just go down through there and see somebody needs some rock. You know, we rock your driveway. It kind of reminds me of these guys running around with a truckload of blacktop. They're going to blacktop your driveway. They got enough for about 20 feet, and you got to have more.
Yeah.
But it was the same tactic as say, how much it cost me? I said, I don't know how many truckload it takes. And some of them had big long driveway, but I could just walk up and make something happen. I remember we went into Crystal. I probably not told you, but we went to Crystal to eat. And this woman she'd been at one that throws them eggs up and cook them back in. You remember how they used to throw them up?
Yeah.
And she said her fenders all left 10 front fenders all messed up. And I said, "Do you have wreck?" She said, "Yeah, I hear a tree or something." I said, "I've got a new fender in the back. It's in primer, so I'm going to have it painted, but I ain't got nobody to put it on for me." And I said, "Shoot, we do fenders." I worked in Ballin Buster on TV. I still got a big scar right there where that thing fell and cut my finger. We went there and put it on for her, took her car back. Now I had that scar right down through there, laid that open. I had a Band-Aid on it, and I remember picking on Ballin Buster, and I looked at my banjo head, and it was dripping. While I was picking, I could see the blood dropping off. It's just, but I would make something happen. If you didn't, you just not have a job, not even have anything, I'd walk up and say,
Figure something out.
let's do something out. Mr. Evans said during the Depression, and boy, that was a bad time. He said he was working this big sign shop. He said this old boy come in and said, "Where's the boss at?" And he said, "Right there." He said, "I'd like to have a job." He said, "Now, buddy, I'm just going to tell you, we ain't got no room for nobody else." And he said, "Well, I need a job bad for something. I can't even eat." And he said, "Nope, I ain't got nothing." And he said, we all stopped to look at the guy because he was so sincere. And he said, he walked over and grabbed a broom. He said, "All right, now, men, get back to work here. We got to make this man some money," and started sweeping the place. He said, that guy stood there and looked at him. He said, "You know, you might be all right." Hardy, just because he done it.
Took initiative.
Yeah, I mean, he just went and done it.
Yeah.
And Mr. Evans said, I had to do that during prison. I just pulled up to a restaurant. It didn't have no signs good. And I said, "Buddy, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. You feed me 3 meals a day. I'm going to park right here on your lot." He had an A-model cut down where he could sleep in it. So he slept in his car. Had a bedroom. I mean, he could crawl on there and sleep in it. He said, "What I'm going to do, I'm going to fix you a good sign out front. Really good. It'll draw a crowd in. I'm going to put a big old plate, put all kinds of meat, chicken and stuff on it. You call it some kind of plate special with no blue plate or something," and said, "I'm going to park here because I need to go around town and get me some business. The only thing I'm going to ask you for a sign is give me 3 meals a day for a month." And he said, "If I ain't got you business, then you can run me off." He said that when he got through done a couple of signs, that man had so much business, couldn't hardly take care of it. Boy, it made that food look good. He could, though.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he could paint. Make you want to eat. He'd make you watermelons. He could paint watermelons, make you want to cut one right there.
Yeah.
He's wanting that all in for Mr. Walker, you know.
Yeah.
Then big billboards. Well, he's a talented guy, but he said, he said, "Well, yeah, let's try it for a few days." And he said, "Boy, I got them signs painted today." And he said, I was broke. And said, "I got to eat."
Mm-hmm.
That's all I need is a place to sit the car and eat. And I run around town, so I started getting little jobs.
Get people.
$3 here, $1.50 an hour, and I need this. You know, $1.50 for a little sign, I need a little sign over here. So I started taking money in, see?
Yeah.
So they give me a tow hope. I got enough money to go somewhere else.
That's what you got to do, though.
He told me that, I probably told him, he said that he kept his radiator real clean. It was in the summertime, washed out, and he'd start that car up, run it, and get that water hot. They got a little faucet on them, they made one of them. That's where he drained the block, because a lot of people didn't have no antifreeze. They had to drain it.
Yeah.
He said, "I'd take my wash pan and go out there and open that up. While that thing's running, it'd be real hot water. Run my hot water in it, cut it off, and I go over and shave." Had me a mirror, said, "I get that good hot water and wash it up." But I wash off that. People done. They done.
He'd have hot water.
Yeah, they washed from wash pans. That's what wash pans are for.
Oh, yeah.
You wash your arms and your leg and shave and everything. It was a different world, wasn't it?
It was a different world.
If we had to go back,
I don't know if we could do it if we had to go back.
No.
It would be good, I think, to have a school where you could take the kids out and just live like that.
Yeah, live off land. Let them see.
Cook and kill some squirrels and get your wood up and sleep in a little cabin on the floor like they had to. And, well, I mean, so people wouldn't survive, they could.
Yeah.
If you want to do it bad enough, you'll find some way to do it.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I always did.
Like we was talking last week, like your mother and my mother, canned stuff.
Oh,
They come in, the crops come in, then they canned everything they could can and stuff, and grilled hogs and whatever, and can that meat, sausage.
We had good
last year all summer.
Yeah.
So it's
potato house and
yeah. Yes, sir. Go in there and that old dugout and have them taters and
everything. I mean, it's cool in there.
Yeah.
I don't know how. I guess they just dug down. I forgot I was so young. Probably put boards in it and hold it up. Let the waters come on down. They had places to trench it out.
And kept it cool.
I've been in, some of them had concrete floors.
Mm-hmm.
They had gutters like on the side, and that water come in, it just ran on out, but it kept it cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The cold water, maybe snow water, you know.
Yeah.
They put their milk in there. They call them the dairy.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they go, especially if you had a bank, it comes straight down. They just dig that back in there and lay block. Build them real nice.
That's how-
Dairy.
How my parents cooled the milk and stuff. Of course, we used to have a big old spring,
Yeah.
and had a, what they call a spring house, and the water run through it and out the other end. And they just set that milk stuff in there. Well, it hurts your teeth. It's cold.
Yeah, they say, run down there and get us go down and get us a gallon of milk.
Well,
And while you're down there, here, pick a bucket of watercresses. Did you ever eat any watercresses?
I have.
They're pretty good, ain't they?
Yeah.
They wilt them and put that bacon in hard-boiled
I
egg
have.
slices on them. And
Yeah.
now, I wouldn't expect Howard to eat them. He was hard to eat.
no, I didn't.
I've eaten them
Just
before.
dream of the salad.
I've eaten them before.
But I always liked to eat it, you know. It's pretty good. But I was just thinking of some of the things, you know. My sister passed away. She was 95. We had a funeral Monday, but passed away last week. But her and my other sister were talking about going through depression. It was just so bad. They had to go from house to house, live with different uncles. Take 3 families
Yeah.
in one
To support
place
one.
to
Oh, yeah.
go out and hunt, kill rabbits, and maybe a deer, and maybe pigs. They just kill hogs. I mean, they
Oh,
had
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Milk cows and churn that butter. Boy, it's good butter, that big old blocks of butter.
Yes, sir.
The Faye churn. I was a little boy. I still got Mama's churn. And she did some way she done cottage cheese. Boy, it's some of the best you ever ate.
Yeah.
Oh, she said, we're going to make some cottage cheese. Come over here.
Mm.
Of course, I had churn, you know.
Yeah.
I churn it. Some
Man,
nice
it's
cottage
bad.
cheese, and then make that buttermilk. Some way, they changed all of that. Made butter and buttermilk and cottage cheese and sweet milk. And
They
Sure.
just said that churn just like that. Of
yeah,
course, you get tired of doing that. I want to go do something else. You keep it churning. You want to eat it, don't you?
this preacher was preaching after our church one day, and he said, you know, you got to have some drive and some want to. I said, did you hear about the 2 frogs that fell in the churn full of milk? And they said, no. We said, no. He said, well, what happened? They started jumping, trying to get out. This one frog said, I ain't going to make it, so he just laid down and died. So the other one kept jumping, and directly made a little pile of butter, and he just got on that butter and jumped from it. And another one he told us said, this is something don't you think about. Said, figure it out, boys. He said, a man without eyes went through an orchard. He saw apples on a tree. He neither took apples or he neither left apples out of his beak. A man without eyes.
Yeah. I
Went through an orchard. He saw apples on a tree. He neither took apples or left apples. He said he just had one eye. He didn't have eyes. And there's 2 apples hanging on that tree. He took one and left one. They, you know, them old people had riddles like snow,
Yeah.
like he said a while ago, laying around waiting on another.
That's right. Well, as they were saying back in the day, I guess that's laying around waiting on another. Of course, they said next week's supposed to get some. So,
I remember when I was a little boy, I'd sleep in the room. Of course, I just 5 or 4 or something. I can remember it. But we'd lay there. You hear that big old train going through a pile up on that mountain.
yeah.
It'd be cold, man. It'd be cold. We had a fireplace going. I'd hear Mama say to Daddy, she'd say, listen to that train. It sounds like snow to me. And just a lot of times she'd hit it, get up next morning, we'd hear one.
Really?
It sounds like snow. She said, some way they heard the whistle. They could tell.
You can tell
She said,
from the, really?
and she didn't do it every time the train went by, but it just on certain nights she'd say, listen to that old train. It sounds like snow to me. We'd get snow, you know. Them older people, they planned their
They knew the lay of the land, you know.
They
knew-
planned their food on certain moons and this and that.
Yep.
I put some pumpkins out, and this guy asked me, he said, where did you put them out? And I told him, Mike West, he said, this guy told me that if you planted them on that kind of moon, it'd bloom real good, but it wouldn't have no pumpkins on it. And sure enough, none of them had pumpkins.
Really?
And it bloomed. Oh, them the prettiest vines. I said, oh, boy, I'm going to have a big pumpkin now. It bloomed quick.
no pumpkins.
Always had blooms.
Yeah.
Not one pumpkin on it. So I'm going to find out what them signs are if I put some out there.
Get you the farmer's
Yeah,
almanac.
Farmer's Almanac, yeah.
I'll tell you.
Oh, and this is funny. I had him up there bush hogging in the horse pasture, and he hit a big old vine. It had all kinds of, it was loaded. He brought me some of them up there. One he didn't cut out. He brought me about 3. He said, there's some up yonder. Did you put them out? No, I didn't put them out. He said, well, that must have been on the right sign then. I thought we needed the chickens here a while back. I just stayed on a front porch. It's kind of for decoration.
Yeah.
Till they run out. But it's a sight, the things that old people use, you know.
Yeah.
They live by that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Signs and the wonders. And
I see they had, of course, they was just poor people, but like potatoes or corn or whatever, you just didn't keep planting every year on the same ground.
Mm-hmm.
It'd get where it wouldn't grow nothing.
Yeah.
So you had to get new ground.
New
work it
ground,
and stuff.
if the tomatoes or anything.
Oh, yeah. Everything like that.
Yeah.
But they didn't have no book education, but
They knew what they were
common
doing.
sense. Yeah.
Oh, I need to bring Ron a picture. I grow some tomatoes that big. I set them out in March, that thing I invented.
Yeah.
That you could keep set out early and it wouldn't freeze. And I had the biggest tomatoes. I could hold my hand, 2/3 that was sticking out. But now, I put it in that same spot.
Mm-hmm.
I get little knots, so I'm going to move myself.
You've done used up all the land,
Yeah.
all the
Yeah,
nutrients.
yeah. I guess we better start summing.
How'd everything go at Wild Wings?
Oh, we had a good crowd. Had a
Good.
good show. We had, of course, all the musicians and all. And
Everybody made it with the weather like it
everybody,
was?
pretty much, yeah.
Good.
But the few of the girls and stuff was out. Different ones. There's a few of them out, but we had new ones.
Okay.
So you replace them with new ones, you know.
Sure. Show must go on.
That's right.
But it was a really good show and new people. I mean, it wasn't some of our old crowd wasn't even there. It was just new people.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be bad, you know, because they should come on in as bad as good as the other time. Might have been a little better.
Well, good.
But he said that guy said that it was the first bunch on Monday night. The Bluegrass Night's a hard night to draw on. And he said, you all have put more people in here, and your people eat like crazy.
That's what they like. They want to dine that food.
Musicians eat a lot. Of course, a lot of them musicians eat.
Yeah.
They eat like crazy. And it's the woman that's over it. She said, she sat me down and talked to me. She said, you know, you put on the most professional show that's ever been to Wild Wings. Anybody, and we ain't that. And I said, well, we try to, because I brag on them. And
Sure.
we got some good food, get you something. And I talk about it. And you're up there to sell. See, most musicians think you're up there to play good.
No, you're up there to...
You've got to get the audience in your hand,
Mm-hmm.
and you got to tell them how good it is so they'll try it.
Yeah.
And Mr. Hammers used to do that, you know. Miss Hammers, you know, we'd have that stuff over, and I'd play a good song, get everybody's attention. I say, now we're going to have a drawing. We got to go in there and register, get some of that motor oil. Look at motor oils, whatever it is you can. Socks, 2 pairs for $1. And, you know, Mr. Hammer used to tell me, he said, you and my wife will sell more
Mhm.
than anybody I ever saw. But we always could sell.
Well, yeah.
I was a good salesman, I guess. I could go in. I'd send somebody out on the road and try to put them cabinets out with them many music stores, cabinets, and then we'd make them a store in the corner.
Yeah.
And I'd send somebody out to do it. And now Garfield was a good salesman. He had the biggest chain of anybody. But I'd ride with him, and they say, I don't think this guy, I've tried him and he won't take it. I said, well, let's try it. Let me try it. I'd go in there and say, hey, how you doing? I didn't go in and start giving you a sales pitch. How you doing? I said, I want to ask you a question. If you had 70 brand new products in here right now, could you think you could sell some of them something off the wall if you don't even have it? He said, yeah, probably. I said, come in here and I'll show you something. So I didn't tell him that. I took him out there, and there's one of them display cabinets laying in the van. Look at that. You got strings, you got picks, you got capos, you got drumsticks, you got electrical cords, you got banjo bridges, fiddle bridges, rosin bow, strings for every instrument, reeds for your horns. I mean, I go down to 72 items. And he said, well, yeah, but what's that cost? I said, don't cost you nothing. I'm going to set it in your building, give you 25% of what you sell. You don't pay for nothing till you sell it. Now, if you'll give me a corner, we'll give you a banjo, a fiddle, electric guitar, some amps, electric bass, some amp fit. I'm going to give you tambourines was in the other thing, I think. Tambourines had now. I said, you got tambourines, you're going to have ukuleles, you're going to have a mandolin, you're going to have one of everything and sales, lap steel. I mean, you got bars in there for the lap steel and a little set of drums. We'll put you in a nice set of drums, too. We do all up to 25%. You get that. All you do is pay for what's gone.
Yeah.
They stock it right back up just like that. And I said, look, how much money you going to make? Well, man, that was a...
No-brainer.
Oh, that was terrific. I done good on that. We had 60 stores like that. 1,500-mile route. I mean, it's paid to whoever run the routes got 10% off top. Well, if they made, everybody made money.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go in a place so, just say $500, you made $50.
Yeah.
$50 right there automatically. So, how many stops? They'd probably make 5 stops a day.
Sure, easy.
It'd be, from town to town. We didn't put, like we put Raleigh and then go to Harrogate and then go to Tazewell.
Yeah.
Just come on down, whatever's after that.
Sure.
Granger County.
That's a good idea.
Kansas City, Morristown.
Good idea, but it's hard to run the routes, wasn't it? How long? What did it take you? A whole week to get to everybody, or a month?
All of it took a week.
Yeah.
About a week.
Yep.
It took about a week to get them around, and you still have once a month.
Yeah.
But see, time you went around them.
About ready to go again.
Go again. And now if they called and said, we need some more drums and stuff, we'd run it to them.
Yeah.
We could run it where it went, but otherwise it'd be, or she'd tell them, whoever run it, you sold 12 sets of guitar strings last time. We tried to put plenty in there. You want us to build that up some? And say, yeah, we'll put you in 2 dozen. You sold us for a dozen.
Yeah.
We're putting in 2 dozen. I'm marking on your pad, my pad. You got 24 sets. What if they sold out packs of picks?
Yeah.
5 picks for $1 back in, I had all this stuff in there, and it just went like crazy. It's just unreal.
Yeah.
And I tell you where I kind of got the idea of that. This guy that sold products, musical products, he said, I've come up with an idea. I'm putting a vending machine in these big motels. You put a quarter in, you can get you some shampoo, or you can get you a bar of soap. And said you pull that out like cigarettes, That's way back before they
put it in there for you.
Started putting it in free.
Yeah.
Yes, and that showed it. They thought people could make money off it, so they just go up $2 on the rent and put it in themselves.
Yeah.
But he said it worked good for him.
I bet it did.
And I thought, I can't do a vending machine. That's too high. So I had them cabinets built, big glass doors.
Yeah.
I mean, solid plexiglass, and you couldn't see the whole thing. A little lock on it, key, you couldn't get in it. It's that way that you always give it to me close to cash register.
Yeah.
I get my stuff real close, they just unlock it. I need to set these strings here, yeah, like the perfume counter.
Sure.
And tell you, I see some more stuff in here I need. I need a banjo bridge, too. I need a banjo head. And, it just went like wildfire. It'd go again right now.
Yeah, sure. If you could run the route.
Somebody want to run 1,500-mile route. But
it'd work.
When you get out of one thing, I got to get something bigger. I ain't used to getting out. Let's see, I'm retired right now.
Yeah, I can tell. We'll see.
I'm really taking it easy. I got a few things going.
Yeah, I know.
But I feel so good about it, getting rid of a lot of stuff. We got to tell you about the Sodaville music. We got Anthony's over there now. He said, be sure and tell about it. And you talk about drums.
Lord.
He's got drums like you never saw. I have never saw. I didn't know they made so many different drums.
Good Lord.
Premier, he's got high dollar drums.
Oh, yeah.
He gets up $10,000 a set.
Mhm.
I didn't. I used to sell them up maybe $1,000, $1,500, $2,000,
Yeah.
$2,500. I never went much over that. But he's got y'all just stop and try them out and look at all the Fender stuff he's got. Now Doug is running the music barn. He's still got I think Friday night.
Friday night,
He's
Saturday
not
night.
doing every Saturday night, but I think he's fixing to go into every Saturday night. But he's
Okay.
got on Friday nights, and he also does sound systems. Anybody needs a sound system put up, give him a call. He's a real good sound man. And he said no job is too big or too little. So he's one that does our sound at Y Wings.
Okay.
And I use him everywhere I have to have a sound.
Sure.
I mean, he's a real good sound man. And so he's doing sound, and he's got other places where he sells some stuff, but he's got his sound and some shows still going on. So I think he has karaoke on Friday night, and he is it on the marquee probably Saturdays. Sometimes he does 2 Saturdays in a row, and sometimes it's 3 a month, sometimes it's just 1 a month. It's according to what size band he's got coming in. But
Sure.
Go over and see Anthony and Doug both. Tell them we sent you over. And me, I'm up there. I got a sign on my front porch that says my office. I'm here sometimes and sometimes I'm not. So I couldn't be over there right now, see, because I'm over here.
I got you.
But anyhow, we got Y Wings every second Monday throughout the next year.
Yes, sir.
And we got programs we give you when you come over. And I know you enjoy it and like the food. They got a real good that beef. What is that? It's some kind of beef. It's like a hoagie, but it ain't a hoagie. But it, boy,
It's what is the
I
name
can't
of
think
it?
of the name of it. And them big old wedge potatoes, but it's delicious.
Oh yeah.
And I had half one I like to eat at night, but it was good. I mean, the potatoes, I ate them, but I ate the sandwich. I thought you was going to be there, and you didn't show up.
Oh, I couldn't make it.
But I had somebody could take it. I give it to Mike. And Mike can handle it. But we want to thank everybody for listening to us and for being here on WYSH, the first radio station I ever was on.
Yeah.
WYSH. And we love all of you, and thank you for all the years that you've helped us at Siderville, and thank you for all the years you've helped WYSH.
Yes, sir.
I mean, without this community station, I mean, what would we be? What would we do? We'd be lost without
Yeah,
his
sure
Merle
would.
and Praise and some other stations he's got. We need to give Ron a little few feathers every now and then.
That's right.
I don't even get the big head unless I
No, well, that won't happen. Don't worry.
Hey, don't stick him in your earphone, but I want you. No, he has been an asset to the community
Oh yeah.
and to us at Siderville. Me and him become friends when first time I met him.
1990.
Then when it was 1990, he was so young. I thought somebody else. I was looking for somebody old that owned a radio station. That guy said no. The guy I'd been trading with, I thought he was one of the big deals. And he said, no, this is the guy that owned it. And I said, well, but they thought that about me when I was 22 or 3, you know. Where is David? And
I'm David.
Yeah, that still plays my kind of music.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
man.
like the old country. I just
Yes, sir.
I'll tell you what, if you don't listen to, of course, YSH if you're around here, but you get out and don't hear Merle, you done missed something.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
definitely.
is out of sight.
It's growing, too.
I mean, 1 hour of good solid music.
Yeah, commercial free.
Commercial
Free,
Yeah.
and they do it. It's just so, that's where I keep it set. You know, if I'm on places where they're going to play it all night,
Sure.
anything like that. But, you know, I listen to YSH, if like down at the lake and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I keep it on Merle because it picks up better at late night, and I can hear it in
Yeah.
my offices and stuff. I leave music on, so if anybody breaks in, well, they can hear the music.
They'll be entertained.
It'd be like St. Daniel said about Fred Smith. Red Rector, he said, you know, said some burglars broke in on Red's house and said, they looked around and said they just laid him down $20 and left.
Feel sorry for him.
So that was one of the big tales, you know. I feel so sorry for him. They gave him $20 and left.
Lord.
That's pretty bad, man. I told him yesterday, it's like the mouse that Fred said got caught in a trap. And him and his buddy got caught in a trap. He said, "You want some cheese?" I don't want no cheese. I'm just wanting out. I wish people could. I wish Fred is still like he was at Solomon. We could bring him over and put him.
Oh, Lord.
He was so funny, that guy was. He could just make it up. He just walk into a big place and start playing. He'd say, "How you do?" And, "This woman, I'm glad to see you tonight. Miss Woman, I want to ask you a question. Look at that wall right there beside you." She'd say, he says, "What did that remind you of?" She said, "I don't know." He said, "You know what it reminds me of?" She said, "No, that wall right over there."
he just have the naturally come. Yeah.
I mean, he just...
You walk out and he'd say, "Have you ever been poor, Miss Woman?" Lord, said Phoebe when I first said, "We're supposed to, if we'd have got food stamps, we'd eat them."
I'll tell you what was funny. He said that. He said, "I was Mr. Poor and I was unlucky." He said, "If Dolly Parton had been my mama, they'd put me on the bottle." And I like when, you know, he just had him for everything he said, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Unlucky and poor.
It's natural. It just comes to
He
him.
said, "You know, we was so poor. The only way my mama could make ends meet," said, "if me and my twin brother put us both in the same diaper, that's the only way she could make ends meet." he was just out of sight guy. He talked about being poor, you know, how he growed up. He said, "We had an old ham hock bone that we done our beans with," and said, you know, back in everybody's neighborly, he said, we'd loan it to the boys, people next door, and they'd use that ham hock to cook their beans, and said, "It's a pretty good ham hock," but said we loaned it to the other neighbors, and they put it in a thing of turnip greens and just run that ham. Turned it out, cooked it up. And that was poor, wasn't it?
That's poor.
I like one he told about the dog, you know, it bit everybody. I told that before, hadn't I?
I don't know.
I mean, he said this dog was so mean. He said he didn't have fleas, he had hornets. He said that dog bit everybody that walked up in the yard, even the mailman, and said, the mailman just told him, "I'm going to bring the mail up if you do something about that dog." So she took him and had him castrated, and was trying to calm him down. And Fred said the mailman went up there, and that dog hadn't done nothing, you know. He was delivering the mail, everything was fine. Said 2 weeks went by. Said the mailman walked up, and that dog come out on the floor, slobbering. Said he made a dive to see the paint. That mailman, he jumped through the screen door. She said, "Well, I don't know what's wrong with Rover." Said 2 weeks ago we had him castrated. He said, "I could tell he didn't want to make love, ma'am. He all pulled his teeth." Well, I guess that's enough of the fun.
That's good.
If Fred called you up and he wanted something and you start telling him a joke, "Now, I'm not in for funds now. I need a fan belt." Yeah, but anyhow, till we get to see you next week, good Lord, we hope we made somebody's life, made your day just a little bit better and brighter. And as Pentecost said, "Let not your heart be troubled, but don't take no wooden nickels." And may the good Lord bless you. And it's time to cheer up.
Yes.
You know, we have so much to be thankful for. Look at them poor people in North Carolina.
Oh, Lord. Now California.
Yeah.
California and North Carolina. People in North Carolina, it's showing that some of them, they said, just throwing them out of the motels because FEMA.
Oh, yeah. FEMA, yeah.
I mean, where are they going to live? I mean, this is America.
I know
this is
it.
our people.
I know it.
If we could put up people's coming into this country, look like we need
put
to
up
stop and
ours.
take care of what's in our country.
I agree.
Because the Bible said charity starts at home.
Yep.
And that's what we need to do. I mean, it's unreal for anybody in America to have to live like that.
Yeah, you've only got about 4 days to wait.
Yeah.
About 4 days to wait, and I
Well,
think a lot of it'll
what's the sad part
change.
about it?
At least some stuff changed.
We got them people that's come in here illegally that don't belong here.
Yeah.
And we've got American veterans that fought in the war that's living on the streets.
Yep.
There ain't nothing right about that.
There ain't nothing.
No,
Nothing.
I think if you was a veteran and you come back and you got sick, any hospital ought to take you wherever you is at, and you'll come back with a medical card.
Yeah.
I mean, if you was hurt very bad.
I agree.
Take them, send them to Johnson City or somewhere like that. These people, there wouldn't be no America if it wasn't for them. See, I played a lot over at the veterans home.
Yeah.
And the first thing I do, I say, we're praying for you tonight, and I want to cheer you up, make you happy. Because one thing I want everybody to know, without you people sitting right there, we wouldn't be up here.
Sure.
The country would have done been gone.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all sacrificed so much so we could have so much.
Yeah.
And this whole show's for you. Man, we played over in Ashley's. They said, they love you. I said, that's the first thing you say, want some entertainment? I want them Siderville game.
Cider Mountain Boys.
That's the first thing you say. I had to change it to Siderville game because it's like girls.
Yeah.
But you could tell like girls from boys.
There you go.
Yeah. May the good Lord bless you. We got to get off here.
All right, bro. Have a good one. We'll be back next week, y'all.
Thank you for listening to AM 1380 WYSH and Ask Your Neighbor. Make sure you tune in at 10 a.m. each day, Monday through Friday, right here on AM 1380 WYSH and BTV 12, or listen live online at WYSHradio.com. And remember, if you have a question, comment, or problem, call in tomorrow and ask your neighbor, or email from our website. It's